Have you ever felt like your body no longer listens to you the way it once did? You try to rest at night, but sleep is broken by trips to the bathroom. You wake up in the morning with less energy, less desire, and a sense that something inside is quietly slipping away. For many men after 65, this isn't just about aging. It's your body sending signals, a fading spark of vitality, a shift in hormones like testosterone, a slow change in circulation and strength. These are not punishments of age. They are reminders that your body still wants to be cared for. As a men's health doctor, I've seen it countless times. Men who thought their struggles with low desire, weak flow, or lack of energy were simply part of getting old. But the truth is small daily habits either drain your manhood or rebuild it. And when you begin to notice and adjust them, the body responds. Energy returns, sleep becomes deeper. Even intimacy can feel alive again. That is why today I want to walk with you through 3 silent habits that slowly weaken a man's prostate, his hormones, and his sense of vitality. More importantly, I'll show you how simple, gentle changes can help you restore comfort, confidence, and strength in this new chapter of life. Subscribe to Life After 65 and tell us where you're watching from. I would love to see the community of men sharing this journey. Now let us begin with the first quiet habit that many men never even realize is shaping their health. Think about this for a moment. How often have you ignored the call of your bladder telling yourself you can wait just a little longer? Maybe you're driving home and don't want to stop. Maybe you're busy in the garden, or you don't feel like walking to the restroom in the middle of the night. At first it feels harmless, but over the years that small act of holding back can slowly wear down one of the most delicate parts of your body, your prostate. The prostate sits right beneath your bladder, wrapping around the urethra like a soft cushion. When the bladder fills and stays full for too long, it doesn't just stretch upward, it pushes downward, too, pressing against the prostate like a weight resting on a sponge. One time may not matter, but repeated every day, year after year, the tissue becomes irritated, swollen, less flexible. The result is a weaker stream, difficulty emptying, and frequent trips in the night. I once spoke with Richard, a 72-year-old who thought waiting longer to use the bathroom was a sign of discipline. He said, "I didn't want to be the guy who stopped every hour. I thought I was being strong, but what he didn't realize was that this strength was quietly stressing his prostate. By the time he came to me, he felt frustrated, tired, and chained to the bathroom." Here's the hopeful part. The body is forgiving. The prostate, like that sponge, can soften and relax again when the pressure is relieved. The simple act of listening to your bladder and going when you feel the urge is one of the kindest gifts you can give yourself. You don't have to wait until it's unbearable. You don't have to prove toughness by ignoring nature's signal. True strength is paying attention and responding gently. Science supports this. Studies show that prolonged bladder stretching leads to changes in muscle tone and nerve signaling. Over time, it becomes harder for the bladder to contract and empty fully. But when men respond earlier, the muscles stay more responsive. Circulation improves and inflammation decreases. It's a natural form of prevention available to every one of us without medicine, without surgery, without cost. Imagine blowing up a balloon a little too much every day. It won't pop at once, but it will lose its shape, its strength, its function. Your bladder and prostate work the same way. Treat them kindly and they continue to serve you well into old age. Ignore their signals and you may find yourself living with constant strain. The beautiful truth is that change doesn't require heroic effort. It begins with awareness. The next time you feel the urge, pause, respect it, and act. Over weeks and months, you may notice your nights become easier. The urgency fades. Your energy during the day improves because you are finally resting. It may feel like such a small decision, but small decisions shape the quality of life after 65. Have you noticed this in your own body? Do you sometimes push yourself to wait longer than you should? Let me know in the comments because your story may help another man realize he is not alone. Now, as important as this first habit is, there's another one that surprises many men. It seems unrelated at first, yet it creates constant hidden pressure inside the body. And if ignored, it can be just as damaging to your prostate health. Let's talk about that next. Now let's look at something most men never expect: constipation. At first glance, it sounds like nothing more than a digestive problem. But inside your body, constipation quietly places heavy constant pressure on the very area where your prostate lives. Think of your colon as a crowded hallway. When stool becomes hard and lingers too long, that hallway is blocked. Instead of being open and free, it presses on everything around it. And right behind that wall of pressure sits your prostate, a soft and sensitive gland. It doesn't shout. It doesn't cause sharp pain. It simply absorbs that weight day after day, like a sponge beneath a brick. I remember meeting Edward, a 69-year-old man who came in complaining of weak urination and constant discomfort. He thought something was deeply wrong with his bladder. But as we spoke, he admitted he only had 3 bowel movements a week, was straining every time. He had no idea this slow, silent issue was inflaming his prostate. His colon was full, his body stressed, and his prostate bore the hidden burden. Science confirms what men like Edward experience. When stool lingers, it reduces blood flow, irritates nearby nerves, and creates low-grade inflammation. That inflammation doesn't stay neatly in one place. It spreads into the surrounding tissue, reaching the prostate, fueling swelling and discomfort. Over years, this pattern contributes to benign prostatic hyperplasia, the enlargement that frustrates so many men after 65. But the impact goes deeper. Constipation disrupts gut bacteria, the very ecosystem that supports your immune system, your energy, even your hormone balance. When that system is off, testosterone declines faster, fatigue becomes heavier, and vitality fades. All from something as overlooked as slow bowels. Here's the turning point. Just as with the bladder, your body responds beautifully when you create space and flow. Gentle fiber, warm water, cooked vegetables, soft fruits like pears and prunes, oats, and flax seeds. These are not harsh remedies. They are nature's tools helping to soften, move, and free the hallway. When the colon clears, pressure on the prostate lifts, circulation returns, inflammation cools, the body breathes again. Imagine walking through a narrow corridor filled with boxes stacked against the walls. Every step is tight, heavy, stressful. Now picture that same hallway once the boxes are removed. Open, spacious, calm. That is what happens inside your body when digestion flows. The prostate, freed from silent compression, can finally relax. And here is where men often feel a powerful change. Sleep improves not just because the bladder is calmer, but because the entire body is less inflamed. Energy rises, testosterone finds steadier ground, and even mood lifts. Something as simple as eating a bowl of oatmeal or drinking a tall glass of water becomes a daily act of medicine. Edward began making small shifts. He added warm vegetables to dinner, drank more water in the morning, and swapped processed snacks for fruit. Within a month, his trips to the bathroom at night decreased. Within 3 months, he felt lighter, more energetic, and more at peace with his body. What had once seemed like an unrelated nuisance turned out to be the hidden key. So let me ask you, have you noticed this in your own life? Do you sometimes struggle with constipation and wonder if it might be connected to other issues? Share your thoughts in the comments. You may be surprised how many other men nod their heads in recognition. Now, if constipation is one hidden pressure, there is another habit just as common yet often ignored. It doesn't come from inside your gut, but from the way you live each day, and it may be the quietest, most underestimated threat to a man's prostate health. Let's move there now. Now let's talk about a habit that creeps in so quietly you might not even notice it: sitting too long without movement. Retirement often gives us more hours to read, watch television, or rest in our favorite chair. And while those moments can feel comforting, what happens inside the body tells a different story. Your pelvic area was designed for motion. Gentle walking, stretching, even standing up and down keeps blood-flowing muscles active and waste carried away. When you sit still for hours, that natural circulation slows. The tissues around your bladder, colon, and prostate don't get the oxygen and nutrients they need. Waste removal stalls. The result is stagnation, swelling, and irritation in the very place you want to protect. I once spoke with Harold, a 75-year-old who loved his books. Every afternoon, he sat for 3 or 4 hours at a time in his favorite chair. It was peaceful for his mind, but his body began to resist. He noticed weaker flow, more nighttime bathroom trips, and a heaviness he couldn't explain. What seemed like rest was actually creating silent strain. The science is clear. Long sitting reduces circulation, slows lymphatic drainage, and builds up inflammation. Over time, the prostate becomes more rigid, less flexible, and more easily irritated. It doesn't happen with a bang. It happens with quiet daily repetition. That's why so many men are caught by surprise. But here's the good news. You don't need intense exercise or exhausting workouts to reverse this. The body responds even to small movements. I call them movement snacks. Every 30 to 40 minutes, walk across the room, stretch your legs, or take a few deep breaths. These little reminders tell your body, I am alive, I am flowing, I am cared for. Think of your prostate like a sponge. When left still, it stiffens and collects waste. But when gently moved, it softens, stays nourished, and functions as it should. Small movements are not about fitness. They are about vitality, about reminding your body it still belongs to the rhythm of life. Harold decided to try this. He set a gentle timer, stood up every half hour, and walked to his kitchen for a glass of water or simply stretched by the window. Within 2 weeks, his nighttime bathroom trips dropped. Within a month, he felt lighter, more energetic, and more confident in his own body. What he thought was lost was slowly returning, not through medicine, but through motion. And this is where the real hope lies. Age does not mean stillness. Age means wisdom, awareness, and the chance to move in a way that respects the body. You don't need to prove yourself with marathons or heavy lifting. You only need to honor the flow your body was built for. So I ask you, have you noticed how your body feels after hours of sitting? Do you feel stiff, heavy, or restless? Let me know in the comments, because your reflection might inspire another man to stand, stretch, and reclaim his comfort. When you choose motion, even in the smallest ways, you breathe life back into the parts of your body you cannot see, but that shape every part of your daily comfort and vitality. And that is the power you carry with you every single day. Now that we've uncovered these 3 silent habits: holding urine too long, ignoring constipation, and sitting without movement, let's bring them together and see how small choices can create lasting change. We've walked together through 3 habits that often go unnoticed, yet quietly shape the health of your prostate and the strength of your body. Holding your urine too long, ignoring constipation, and sitting for hours without movement. None of these cause sudden pain. None of them scream for your attention. But over time, they slowly build cycles of discomfort, frustration, and fatigue. And yet the message of today is not one of fear. It is one of hope. Because your body is not finished. Even after 65, it listens, it responds, it heals. When you change these small habits, you open the door to deeper rest, smoother flow, stronger energy, and a more peaceful relationship with your own body. So where can you begin? Choose one action today. When you feel the urge, go to the restroom without waiting, or prepare a bowl of oatmeal and fruit to support your digestion. Or simply stand up right now, take a few steps, and breathe deeply. Just one of these choices practiced consistently can change the way you feel tomorrow and every day after. If this message spoke to you, I invite you to like this video, share it with a friend, and leave a comment below. You never know who might need to hear these words today. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Life After 65 so you won't miss the next simple healing step for your health. Remember this truth: your strength doesn't fade with age. It evolves. And when your habits evolve with it, you discover that the best days are not behind you. They are still waiting ahead, ready to be lived with energy, with purpose, and with peace.